So Kyle's debut album, Light of Mine. I was kind of surprised to see that this was his debut because
hmm
I knew he had released some mixtapes before, but I wasn't aware that they were just mixtapes. In this day and age of what's a mixtape, what's an album, I guess. Um, I was really surprised at how much I liked this album. It was
Really?
I found it to be a very fun album. I got a lot of like early Chance type vibes from this in terms of just like tone and atmosphere around it. I saw you nod on that, so I'm guessing you had the same thought
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of been the
comparison.
comparison for Kyle for a while. He was on "Wanna Be Cool," that song on the Surf Project a few years back, and but like Kyle is like so positive. He makes. I think I saw this in a review today. He makes Chance look like DMX. Like it's pretty funny. But yeah, he's such a happy-go-lucky guy, and now he's like affiliating himself heavily with Yachty, another positive guy. So he definitely has his brand, has his vibe, and it is stands out on the album.
Yeah, Yachty plays his conscience throughout this album, which is a kind of an interesting through line. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I thought it's just funny because I Spy, his obviously mega hit, I think it like peaked at number 5, featuring
Mhm.
Yachty, and big his first mainstream hit. Really, he had some internet hits like Really Yeah and like Doubt It and stuff, and he's kind of been around a few years on the internet, but I Spy really broke out for him and kind of made it mainstream, and then he got the XXL cover right after that,
Mhm.
and on that he says, "This is not the album, homie. These are just the throwaways." And then
Mhm.
he the throwaway song did so well that you have to have it on the album, of course, get those streams like
Right.
Hotline Bling. But he actually like doubled down on that and had his throwaway song now be the through line for the whole album, and had Yachty come in and record
Mhm.
voiceover stuff. I thought it was quite the heel turn considering the initial messaging about the song.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Yachty. I mean, I thought that was kind of a, I don't know, a little bit of a corny through line just in terms
Mhm.
of conscience. But when you're that ultra positive, and he also talked about in an interview wanting to make this be his most personal and deep album or project he's done yet. I guess you're going to take some chances that probably going to fall a little bit flat when you're so positive, but trying to hit an emotional depth like that. Um, a song that stood out to me on this was the one with Kalani, um, playing with you or playing with me. Sorry, I thought that song absolutely jumped out of the album. That in games, I thought,
I like games too. Yeah.
it it was like listening to like Mario Brothers like
Yeah,
turn to a rap
that
song, basically.
that 8-bit Nintendo
Yeah.
production. Yeah, definitely.
Well, what other songs jumped out to you?
So I definitely agree with those two. Yeah, "Play With Me" is definitely my favorite song. I thought "I Miss Me" with Khalid actually was kind of cool. A little different from the normal vibe Khalid brings as a straight up singer, but it's kind of like a I don't know like a futuristic sound, and those little sped up. I thought that was cool, and Khalid fit in well. I actually like the first song, "Ups and Downs." Um, I don't know how deep. I don't think this album is really deep, but
Mhm.
he was kind of going into at least some lyrical content on the intro track.
Yeah. Um, what do you think Kyle's? I mean, this is his first project. What do you think his like ceiling is? Do you think he could be Chance? Like make something as successful and elevated as Coloring Book 3?
I mean, probably not. He's been around long enough. I mean, I feel like there's just an inherent genius and creative uh, peaks that not everyone can reach, right? Um,
Mhm.
but do I think? I mean, he's clearly can probably stay mainstream. Can his positivity can get him keep him on radio. So I
Mhm.
think he can be around a long time. But in terms of ever reaching like the critical peak of a Chance, I don't see that happening. Nor the mass like. Could you ever see Kyle being considered like one of like the top 5 rappers? No, I don't think
No.
so.
Do you think Chance is a top 5 rapper?
Well, I think in terms of like sheer popularity, he's put in like the second tier after Kendrick Cole and Drake. So
And probably Kanye.
right,
Yeah.
um, and he's like, and yeah, he'd be the youngest. Chance is the youngest guy in that group. So I mean, it's pretty high bar for someone like Kyle to get to. But
Definitely.
Chance was an XXL freshman as well, so I guess anything's possible. Did you notice anything about his one of the songs in this "To the Moon"? Specifically the flow. Did the flow remind you of anything? If you remember,
That was a straight Kid Cudi ripoff. You mean?
not even that. It was just like I thought it was like a Uzi or a Cardi ripoff because the flow was,
Really?
you know, rapping the bars, rapping the bars, like he was doing like the ad lib, like Cardi always does, like what at the end of every bar. And I was like, oh,
Sure.
so you just kind of made like your spin of a trap song, even though it wasn't a trap beat. That's kind of
But also the chorus was "To the Moon," and then like he
yeah,
would like hum that part, and I was like, that sounds just like a Kid Cudi hum to
right,
me.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
that's probably why I was getting that vibe. Yeah, I think you're right. That's definitely a good call on the style of that song. Um, Anything else about this album stick out to you?
So "Open Doors" was the corniest song for sure. Um, so some straight up folding clothes era J. Cole
Wow.
vibe about, because she's like, you gotta, it's about a girl, right? It's like, I'll
Mhm.
open doors for you and I'll hold your hand. And like, it was just all this like basic, shallow ass shit. And I was like, all right, guy, like, relax.
Yeah. So pretty much what you're saying is he's got real potential and he can hit some real highs in this album, but his lows are pretty corny and low.
For sure. And I think what he also has going for him is that he doesn't sound like anybody else.
True.
Similar to Chance, kind of like a nasally voice, similar
Mhm.
to Chance, a positive spin. He's not, a trapper or anything. But also, the production isn't like everybody else. Like, G Easy might not be a trapper, but he still raps over all the same beats as everyone else, But
Mhm.
I think Kyle does stand out in that regard. And, it's not like like Nav also dropped today. We're not bothering with that album, but Nav only has one flow. Kyle actually has some versatility, which
Mhm.
probably benefited from being in the game a little longer. But yeah, no, I think this is a pretty solid debut. There's some good stuff on here for sure. I was pleasantly surprised because like his previous project, Smile, his last mixtape, which is kind of his first kind of big tape. Uh, I didn't think that was anything special, but he's grown and kind of evolved a little bit post I Spy, and it's nice to see.
Definitely. So definitely an album that I think is worth checking out, especially for the highs, and something that I think we'll be talking about Kyle for a long time to come.